A lot of people want to know, can I read philosophy? Can I read this? Can I read that? And the answer is, who are you, right? Because it's not something that everybody should be reading, okay? Many of the great ulama, Ibn Taymiyyah probably foremost among them, studied philosophy. Anybody who reads his works can tell that he really knew philosophy very, very well. But that wasn't his paradigm. Okay? His paradigm was not a philosophical paradigm. He had a paradigm that was indigenous Islam, the actual Islam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through the understanding of the companions and the righteous sort of early generations of Muslims. Okay, but he saw what was happening with the influence of external paradigms, traditions of reason, traditions of logic that were outside of our tradition, that were not indigenous to our tradition or were not divine in source. And so he read those books in order to break it down and to problematize it and to show sort of the weaknesses and the contradictions and where it fits and where it doesn't fit. Okay, so everybody who has a strong foundation in Islam, you're going to have to read things you don't agree with, right? I mean, I'm somebody, alhamdulillah, I've studied a bit, and so I have to read things that I don't agree with. You know, I have to read about this ideology and that ideology and the third ideology. Why? It's not that I'm studying it in the sense of learning from it. It's that I need to be able to account for it. I need to be able to deal with it. I need to be able to explain to people who find it appealing why it is appealing, but why it also isn't adequate. Okay. So if you're a scholar, and I use that term loosely here, like if you're an academic, if you're somebody who is already, with a strong foundation in Islam, then yes, you have to find your niche and you have to study things that you don't agree with and you have to break it down for other people and try not to be influenced by it. That's normal. Okay. But should every single average person just pick up a book on philosophy or Greek logic or this and that? No, of course not. Right. If you don't have a strong foundation, you have to consider, you only get you can think of it as an empty vessel. Like imagine you have like a cup or a glass. Okay. You start with the glass empty and then you pour something into it. Okay. What happens if you pour something into the glass after it's already full? It spills over the top. It doesn't stay in the glass. Okay. So if you're an empty glass, you don't want to go pouring in just anything into that glass because that's going to be your foundation and it's going to stay. But if your glass is already full, it's full with Islam, then it doesn't matter what else you pour into it. It's going to overflow and it's not going to stick.